All right, fight fans, welcome to DAZN MMA. Sean O'Connell, Dan Hardy, as always. And we're lucky enough to be joined by the silent assassin, Savannah Marshall, world champion boxer and newly announced member of the PFL roster. Welcome to the Professional Fighters League, Savannah Marshall.
Thanks for that. PFL Professional Fighters League, something I never thought I'd be saying.
So what do you think? Why now? Why at 13-1 as a pro boxer? Why is now the time for you to dip your toes in the MMA waters?
The opportunity. The PFL, my manager's been in talks with the PFL since around about October time last year after I boxed Clarissa. And the talks have been going really well. And like I said, the opportunity, going back 2-3 years ago, these opportunities weren't around for female fighters. So, who can blame me for grabbing this with both hands? The PFL is one of the fastest growing innovative sports company out there, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
So we saw you in Newcastle back in March, and was that your first experience of a live MMA event? And kind of how long's MMA been on your radar?
It was my first MMA show, and it was amazing. There was just something different in the air. The fans were different. I don't know if it's because I'm used to the whole boxing setup, but just seeing the SmartCage and everything was a lot more aggressive. A lot more aggressive. But I've probably had my eye on MMA since about lockdown, and it was because the opportunity for, especially in female boxing, I just felt like females weren't really getting opportunities. And then I seen in MMA a lot of the big MMA promoters are really pushing female fighters, and that kind of like drew me attention. So it's been since about the first lockdown 2020.
All right, so if you've been looking at it for, we'll say, 3-ish years, how much training in mixed martial arts have you done? I mean, obviously you've got the hands, you've got the boxing and that footwork down. How much jiu-jitsu have you tried? How much wrestling and Muay Thai and that kind of stuff have you already participated in?
I've did a little bit of BJJ, and when I say a little bit, I mean a little bit. But look, I've been boxing for 20 plus years, and it comes to the point where you're doing the same combination, the same routine. So them few BJJ lessons that I had, I was really intrigued, and for the first time in a long time, I had that bit of a fire in my belly because it was new and it was different. So I'm excited. I'm really excited for this journey.
So say you've got a fight booked. What's the process in starting a training camp? Have you thought about that? Have you considered kind of where you would do it and what coaches you would recruit and how you would go about it?
I've got a couple in mind. I haven't really started having the talks with people yet, but I've got a few people in mind. I'm quite good friends with Molly McCann. So I did a couple of sessions with her, a couple of MMA sessions. She was just showing me little bits and bobs. So, I haven't seen what Molly does in training camps and things like that. It's not too far off from a boxing camp.
So Dan just threw it out there. Imagine you have a fight booked. Who's the perfect opponent for Savannah Marshall just starting out in her mixed martial arts career? Do you want someone who we know? Do you want someone whose name we've heard? Or are you just willing to take on someone who's a beginner like yourself?
That's up to the team I don't have yet. It's look, it can go two ways. I could have a little try at it and I could be really, really good, or I could be sat here in a year's time thinking, what a disaster that would be. What a disaster that was. But look, it's I suppose you've got to try it, haven't you? But preferably someone who's not very good on the ground. That'd suit me.
What about, Dan, bear with me here. What about someone you've already fought in boxing? We actually spoke to Clarissa Shields about you coming over to the PFL, you starting your journey in mixed martial arts, and we got her thoughts. I want you to hear what she said about it. If Chase, you can play it for me. Claressa versus Savannah in an MMA rematch. Does that interest you?
I slam the fuck out of her. You understand me? I go right for her legs. I don't even have to stand up with her. For what? For what? I've been doing MMA for almost 2 years. I'm not finna stand up with her in there. Soon as we go in there, I'm going right for her legs. And the thing is with Savannah, she wants to do everything that I do. She wants her life to be just intertwined with mine so bad. It's like, you're 30 and now you want to do MMA. She doesn't want to be connected to me. She want to wrestle with me and stuff. So if she want to get in there and she want to do a MMA fight, I would gladly kick her ass again. Again, why not?
So what do you think of that?
Oh, I can't wait to boot her in the face.
Does it change things a little bit, given the fact that it would be an MMA fight? Is there more excitement that you can like kick her and knee her in the face and like take her down and punch her on the floor? Does that kind of change the feeling towards it at all?
I think so, and I think not just only for me. I think, for the fans as well. Obviously, she beat me in the ring, and I've been chasing that rematch. I don't think I'm gonna get it, but in the SmartCage, it kind of lights that fire again, doesn't it? It's one in the ring. Is it what it could I draw one back in the SmartCage? It's exciting. It's really exciting. She's been doing MMA for 2 years, and you'd never know because she's terrible. Speaking from experience.
How many of your fans are going to follow you over? How are your fans going to react to this? I mean, look, you and Clarissa headlined an all-female boxing event, a really big show, tons of buys on that. You're very, very popular in boxing. Will your fans react well to the idea that you're going to put this on the shelf for now and you're going to try something brand new?
I'm not too sure about the boxing fans, but I think hopefully I can win a couple more new fans in the MMA world. I think that MMA is a massive sport, and there has been times when I think it's a lot bigger than boxing, especially over in the US. So hopefully I can get a couple new fans, and hopefully the old ones it'll follow me over.
How do you think the skill set will change in the small gloves? Do you think you'll have to make many adjustments? And have you pictured punching someone in the face with those small gloves yet?
I remember when I first put a pair on, I thought, wow, these are dangerous.
No, you're dangerous in them. They're not dangerous by themselves. It's when someone with good hands puts them on. That's when they become dangerous.
Have you ever been in a boxing match where you're like, man, I wish I could grab a hold of this person and it would stop breaking up these clinches. I wish I could just grab the back of that head, grab that neck, and just keep wailing away. I mean, that stuff is allowed. Have you ever, like in competition, been like, man, this would be a lot better if I could keep that person right there with a knee or something like that?
Oh, 100%, especially when they're scrappy. When you're trying to box and you're in there with a wrestler, you're halfway there.
So how much MMA do you follow? Have you got any fighters that you enjoy watching? Have you seen Molly McCann fight? And what are your thoughts on the level of striking in mixed martial arts?
Yeah, I remember Molly's from a boxing background, so I remember seeing Molly, and she won the National English Boxing Championships when she was about 18. And so she's come from the boxing background, and I remember her telling me that at one point, I'm sure she had the highest striking record in with her promotional company. So it just goes to show that that punching does work. It's not all about the ground, but definitely it's. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to learn these new skills.
As you know, Francis Ngannou, former UFC heavyweight champion, now with the PFL, the biggest, baddest heavyweight mixed martial artist on the planet, has signed to fight a UK legend, a heavyweight world champion in boxing, in Tyson Fury. Obviously, you've watched a lot of him boxing. I'm sure you've at least seen a little bit of what Francis can do with his hands. How do you think a fight like that goes?
To be honest, I think that Tyson will I think it'll be quite juicy early on. And then I think Tyson will just run away with it. I think he'll end up just playing with him, to be honest.
So you're in New York, right? You've just arrived in the city. You're going to be here for the event on Wednesday night. Are you looking forward to being at another live MMA event?
I am. I really am, and it's great to be in New York. As soon as I got the hotel, I was straight on Uber Eats, seeing what was in the area. But yeah, like I said, I love Newcastle. It was amazing, so I can't wait till Wednesday.
As long as we're talking about Uber Eats, have you decided already what weight class you're going to compete in mixed martial arts?
155.
Okay.
But which is what I've never made in boxing, but obviously the weight making's a lot different in MMA, because I know you do the water cuts and things like that. And this is something I'm quite interested in, because in boxing, especially at championship level, you get weight checks, every week. So you can't really do the whole water loading. So that's something that, I'm really interested to try.
Oh, that's interesting. So you have to control your weight all the way through fight week and kind of bring it down gradually to step on the scales.
Yeah, especially in the UK, you have to do I think you have to do a weight check 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out, a week, 3 days, and you have to be within so much. So I know within MMA, a lot of fighters drop kilos, the night before, whereas you can't do that in boxing. It's really controlled.
That might not be such a bad thing.
That might be a better way to do it. And that's one thing, you'll either love it or you'll hate it, because you'll either the water will come off easy, and then on fight day you'll weigh 7 kilos more than you did when you weighed in, or you're gonna hate it and be like, man, this is terrible, I hate weight cutting. Well, it's going to be fun to watch you on this journey. But why do you think all these high level female boxers, right? We just signed Amanda Serrano in the PFL. Obviously, Clarissa has been part of this organization and re-signed, and now you're coming over as well. I mean, these are 3 of the best female boxers on planet Earth now choosing a different sport. Why is that happening right now?
Like I said, I think the opportunity to show your skills in a different sport. There's a lot more eyes, not more eyes viewing it. It's a chance to take your profile to the next level. And like I said, 2-3 years ago, these opportunities weren't here for female fighters. So, I expect to see a lot more female fighters, jump over at the PFL.
So is it important to you to be a representative of boxing in mixed martial arts? Like, do you want to get your fights won with your hands, or is there an interest in, like, I'm going to add a few chokes and a few head kicks to my record as well?
100%. Like I said, it's, after punching for 20 odd years, I'm excited to, get someone in an arm bar, all that sort of thing. Choke. Yeah, I'm really excited for it.
What do you think you're going to be better at? Like kickboxing, where you can mix in kicks and knees and all that, or wrestling and jiu-jitsu? What do you think you're going to take to more naturally?
I think the BJJ. I really think the BJJ. I'm quite naturally strong, so that helps with shifting the weight, that sort of thing. Wrestling. I think I'll be quite good on the ground.
Yeah, you see,
I've got long limbs, so that can go either way.
Well, yeah, long limbs are good for striking as well as strangling people. But I wonder whether you'll find the pace of the striking so kind of comfortable for you that you'll want to challenge yourself and do different things. Like I think that you'll see the value in low kicks as well, because that's a different thing entirely, taking someone's footwork away with low kicks. The calf kicks become quite a popular one recently. I'm interested to see who you choose to work with, because you've already got such a good skill set. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to add to it and how that comes out in competition. I'm really excited for you and to watch you compete in MMA.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. And like I said, I am as well. And oh, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But yeah, I can't wait to get in that SmartCage.
Well, look, it's been a while since we've had anyone good come out of the UK, right, Dan?
It's been a long time. A long time.
Savannah, thank you. We'll be in New York. I mean, we'll see you very soon in person, but thanks for joining us on the show. This is going to be fun. Anything we can do to help. Obviously, Dan has a ton of experience. He knows everyone in the mixed martial arts world across the pond. I probably can't really help you very much. I'm just a guy who likes to talk about fights. But if there is anything I can do, you can ask. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thanks, lads.
Thank you.
Savannah Marshall, the silent assassin, the newest addition to the PFL's rapidly growing roster of world-class fighters, now trying their hand at mixed martial arts. Boxers becoming mixed martial artists becoming boxers, dogs and cats getting along. The world's going crazy, Dan Hardy.